Well, ended up with another no runner. Now, of course, at this show, we didn't have a way of testing anything out at this show. There was no test track there or anything. I'm sure they probably could have. This was at Dana's Railroad Supply, so I'm sure they could have set something up, but they didn't. But it's a neat little engine, and I want to see about getting it running. I don't know if I could put a good old-fashioned. It's got I believe it's got a CAN motor in it. It's the production date on this engine is somewhere around 2001, 2002. So chances are it's just got a bad board. I was able to get it to run a little bit, but she don't want to run. Well, might be another candidate for for bridge rectifier. And, of course, maybe if I could get my hands on a Blue Nami decoder, because this one, as far as I'm concerned, is probably well worth it. But we'll talk about this engine and a few other items when we come back. So follow me through the intro. I'll take you to the show. Yeah, it's died down. It was a little busy earlier. We were able to move a little bit of stuff, but not much. Yeah, this season, it's the end of the season at Dana's. Last show of the season. And we're coming up on our final shows for this season here in about a month or two, the next 2 months. Bob's always got nice stuff. Not bad looking doodle bugs there.
Almost everything. 99.9% of the holding almost.
That was the first thing he lost. Then he lost his life. This sounds like that's crazy. I said, first of all, that should have been on the wall. You know that the survey wasn't done. When you're going to survey the next day, you certainly want to make sure everything. Yeah, for selling it cash. Yeah, he sold it for. Richie offered him $280, and they took that, and then the cash deal came through.
Damn. Oh, he wants way too much for that. $85 for that engine.
fairs that we have now in Florida. Everything is small. Everything is fraudulent. Everything is. You have to have an attorney to do it.
Yes, sir, Danny. We'll see you on the next trip.
He's getting a lot of chew gauge on hand. Just like me, Ken's got the same old crap.
Okay.
Mike's got the same old crap.
Yeah.
The only one with any variance is Kevin over there, and he's...
Oh man, you almost had me going down on camera.
Huh?
You almost had me going down on camera. Friggin' other chair rusted out.
Rusted out. You mean it broke?
No, like it was rusted already on the bottom of it, so I sat on it and it went whoop.
Oh boy.
Banana peel. Alright, that was what, 9?
A little quick little rip or something added that wasn't there originally or that I didn't do originally. It just kind of falls in there. Isn't that neat? Yeah.
I was practicing with the band a couple of times.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, the drummer was late. And so,
So you just got up there and popped in and
yeah. I don't do that. I'm kind of a shy guy, but I feel comfortable with them now. They bring me towards me. They don't-
yeah.
I thank them. Oh, no, they didn't time. My kid's neighbor told me about it. He's been going, man.
Really?
Yeah. And last month I got this. I was going to go today. I got a few things I got to do. So I'm like, who knows? I'll meet somebody.
All of a sudden, bingo.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Who knows?
I
I
mean,
could be on America's Got Talent.
there you go. There you go. Boy, you want to see. Have you ever heard of the group, and it's a family, called Liliac?
No, I don't think so. No.
Put in the song Sandman. It's by Metallica. It's a pretty neat song, actually. Yeah. It's, and pull it up on YouTube. Sandman, Metallica did it. Liliac does it. And they're 3 brothers and 2 daughters.
Oh, yeah?
That song Sandman.
Enter Sandman.
Enter Sandman, thank you.
Not that I would know anything about heavy metal, you know.
And Enter Sandman.
We won't
yeah.
tell anybody.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Gary.
Interesting.
Enter Sandman.
Okay.
And they did it on America's Got Talent with all the judges and stuff. They did a show, and I mean, they did that song, and I was even into it, seriously.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean, they really, really did it.
I'll tell you this. I was a big fan of heavy metal, but I gotta say, some of the songs are really, the beat,
Oh, yeah.
some of them really cool.
Yeah, oh, yeah, no, see?
Well, I did manage to get a few new items today. I got 2 more hopper cars from K-Line, so that adds to my collection. One's a 4-bay coal hauling hopper car, and the other one is of course, a 2-bay. So that brings my 2 bays up to 4, and with that extra car, it brings my 4 bays up to 3 plus 1 or 3, and plus it'll ride right in with the other CB&Q cars. Then I ended up with a covered hopper there. It says Northern Pacific. It looks like it's in Burlington Northern Green. I got the cars for $20 a piece. Don't worry, they're in good shape. Even the MTH car is in good shape. Got the general store from Ameritown First time I find one of the few times you find a really good kit at a train show for O-scale stuff. Because you just really don't find those very often. Now, it's probably not, it's not any of their downtown building kits. That is just a general store. And I imagine I'm going to put it off in the country somewhere. Maybe put a gas pump out front, that sort of thing. Because it's just that kind of a building. Little general store off the beaten path somewhere. The highway comes right past it. Maybe at a crossroads. It comes right past it. So we have something similar to that. Right here in Hernando, just before, just a few miles before you get into Citrus County. And it's right there at 491, and which is basically a market road. It's rural, and U.S. Highway 98, which is Ponce de Leon Boulevard, Citrus Way, and Ponce de Leon Boulevard, here in Hernando County. So, now of course the building's a little bit different than that. I'm going to open that up here in a little bit and we'll get a little bit of a look at the kit. The kit is sealed, but it's my first Ameritown structure that I've ever been able to, and I only paid $5 for it. So I thought I did not get hurt on that one at all. Now for the locomotive that I did pick up. I could kick myself in the butt. Seems like this one seems to have a bad board in it also. Can't seem to get it to go real well. I can get the lights to come on. It wants to run. It's acting like it wants to run. I've got the, it's not reversing. Because if I put it, look, might be dirty wheels. And I'll check into that, because if that's all it is, I've got it on, I've got the direction system turned off now, but I will be cleaning the wheels on that. It does run, as you can see. And it's a neat little engine. It's the little 060 tank engine. It's got an engineer and it's got a fireman. It's got its little coal load back here. The engine is die cast, which I think is just wonderful. And what's really more wonderful is the original owner didn't take and slather a bunch of green paint on it. Yes, it was owned by that same guy. But the original owner didn't slather a bunch of green paint on it. It's an engine that, to me, is worthy of weathering. And I want to get it going. I want to get it going good. It could use a little touch-up. But I think a little bit of weathering on that one would look great also. So I've got several steam engines and diesels lined up to so we'll get into the Weathering 101 series again. I remember back in the early 2000s, I think it was, about the time this one was produced, people were buying these, and two-railers were buying them left and right, trying to get their hands on them. And then two-railing these engines, which I thought was really cool. We had a guy on our O-Trains list, which was an email list, who would take and actually two-rail these engines for you. And of course, I'm sure they did fine working two-rail. They were only a couple of $100 back then, and $250, I think, which wasn't a bad price for a little locomotive like that. And it's well detailed. It's got plenty of add-on detail. You got your handrails. You've got a beautiful bell here. And believe it or not, it does have a whistle. See? Oh, I guess I better turn it on. Doesn't sound too good, but it does have a whistle. It also has a cab light, and the lights will reverse and stuff. I did try to run it in both modes. The way it's acting like the wheels are very dirty. And of course that cuts out on the ground, and then of course the rollers might need some cleaning too. So it might need a good clean and lube. That might be all it takes to get it going. As you saw, it was willing to run. Let's see here. See, it's trying to run, and it's throwing a few sparks. So, I bet it's a good runner. Like I said, it comes with a can motor, and it's, you know, it seems to have some electronics in it. It might have TMCC in it for all I know. I paid under $100 for it. So, and me and John, we looked it up. My buddy John, we looked it up on the online, what it's going for. One guy had one on eBay for over $550. Hard to believe. Yeah, sometimes they think just having the Lionel name on it makes it really valuable. I paid under $100, and I'm not going to complain. But then that's pretty much been the way it has been for all of my locomotives, with the exception of my Erie Lackawanna F-unit set, which is a full set of locomotives. I paid $125 for, so I can't really piss and moan about that. I guess I could, but what good would it do? Anyway, back over to the other stuff. I had pulled this one out of the box earlier. Of course, I don't save these boxes. Everybody knows that. This one's an MTH Premier, and I figure the paint job is just, on this car, is just prior to the Burlington Northern merger. It says Northern Pacific on it, which I thought was, hey, that's kind of cool. And it's in Burlington Northern green, which I think is really kind of, I always liked Burlington Northern. So let's take another little gander at it. It's a nice looking car. And of course everything works on it. The car is brand new. It's got nice trucks on it. It's Premier, so I'm really getting to where I like the MTH Premier stuff. I like some of their, believe it or not, I like some of their Rail King stuff too. But I can't always get my, you know, that isn't usually scale. All right, here's the, and of course it's always crappier. All right. Oh. All right. That K-line. K-line. Of course, have we ever known a K-line 4-bay hopper not to be a good-looking car? I think we all know better, don't we? Let's just zoom in on it a little bit. And it comes with a coal load, which is good. It's the typical, like I said, I've got several of these die-cast, I got a couple of them anyway, of the die-cast I've got several of them. Anyway, let's move on. And this one is one of the nicer ones. Of course, this one's the 2-bay hopper. And I don't know if they just did 3 different numbers or if they did like 6 or whatever. But now I can basically say I've got a train of these hopper cars. Again, a good-looking car. And it, too, has its coal loads, so I'm going to go ahead and set those on the track with the other cars. Now, this one represents a steel car, where the others kind of represent either a war emergency car or something like that, because they are a little bit different hoppers. So I'll bet you that number is a different number. Yep, a completely different number. A completely different number. So, I'm kind of happy with that. Alright, I'm just going to get these cars out of the way. I'm tired today. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. I had to work all week, so that's why you haven't seen any more videos been brought out. It's time to get a gander at this building. It should be in kit form, of course. The box is still appears to have been, I guess it's been opened. Yeah, it has been opened, but it's been taped back shut. Now, if I find out I have an empty box here, because it is pretty light, I'm going to be really upset. Oh, great. Well, it's got bubble pack in it, but there's a front and back and a side. Not a bad looking little building. And should be another okay, and there's a side and another piece of boardwalk. Chimney parts. Okay. It's pretty simple kit from what I can see. Destructions. There better be some roof pieces in here, though. Here's 1 and 2. Yes, it's got 2 nice little roof sections. Okay. Now, that's my very first, and I hate popcorn. I really do. Excuse me while I go, and I'm going to save this box for a little while. Yeah, there we go. But I'm not going to save the popcorn. I'm also not going to start on this kit today. I'm in no shape to be building models tonight. So we're going to take and put this all back in the box for the time being. Not a bad looking roof detail. The building looks to be built of cut stone with a nice false front on it. A false front, of course, would be wood. And we have a lot of those here in Central Florida. We have buildings like that here. So, and many of them, ironically, are little general stores. Like I said, we've got Desk Champs over there at U.S. Highway 98 and County Road 491. So, yes, by all means, I think that this is a pretty nice kit. And I've got to hand it to them. They did a pretty nice job on it. So, and it's the first time, like I said, it's my very first Ameritown kit. I'm looking very forward to building it. And I'm looking very forward to building it with y'all. And we'll get these stones. Like I said, it's cut stone. So we'll make it look more like the lime rock that would be, which is a natural building material. That lime rock comes in big chunks as well as little tiny pebbles that get used for road building around here. Lime rock is still a very heavily used material around here. I don't know what it is about these buildings in O scale. Don't seem to see any clear acetate or anything like that for windows. Okay. And no, it wasn't in amongst the popcorn, but the building is probably very complete. But I figure I've got, I can make a gas pump. I can scratch build a cool looking old gas pump, and we can have maybe an old Chevy sitting there or an old Ford sitting there getting gassed up, you know. A couple of people out there on the boardwalk just to chew in the fat. So that's kind of like what I would figure anyway. So, well, take a look at that. Of course, you know I was going to run a train for you. But take a look at that. Look how it went right on through that bridge. Just beautifully. Yeah, I had a loose ground side wire over there. It had come loose over time. I guess it was a cold solder joint right up there on the Gargraves piece of Gargraves track. So that kind of explains it. But now it's we're not losing a lot of power there coming onto the bridge anymore. And that's a plus. Yeah, just in time to change out the track and put in all Gargraves, right? Well, we're not going to do that today. But, just know that it's going to happen sometime. We had our last show at Dana's for the year, for the season. So the season is over now, and I'm looking very forward to rounding out the last couple of shows for Regal this season. And that will be, the last one should be in May right here in Brooksville. Oh, yeah. Also, I made it clear that I got my F7B going very well. So that's my favorite. I think that's one of my favorite caboose. All right. Well, I'm gonna tell you, till next time, I'm gonna wish you some happy railroading. Like I said, I'm tired. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Well, I will explain to you what had happened. While I was at work, the wife is home alone, of course. Had the power go out about 2:30 yesterday afternoon, and she suspected something had fallen on the line. Well, it turned out that this tree in my next door neighbor's yard had lost its limb, the one that we were expecting to fall off, came right down on the line. And it happened to land right in my driveway, right at the edge of my driveway. I got home last night to a little bit of a surprise. Saying, hey, what happened here? So I ended up having to use my Sawzall because I don't know where on earth my chainsaw is at the moment. It's around the house somewhere. And then I had to get the truck loaded. The truck's still loaded. It's going to be unloaded tomorrow morning. but I had to get my Sawzall out, and I had to cut a bunch of limbs off of it. I got it out of my way. I'm able to negotiate getting in and out of the driveway normally now. There's still a big chunk of that tree up there in the air, though, so don't know if we're going to have any issues. Anyway, until next time, happy railroading. And maybe in the next episode of whatever, we might be building another building, namely a general store. So till next time, happy railroading.